Hello, this is Max for Poisonkiwi, and today I will be reviewing Bridget. In Bridget, you are tasked with constructing a bridge, but the catch being that you have a very limited budget to construct it with, and also with some of the scenarios thrown into the game, you have to make it liftable via the use of hydraulics. This very seemingly simple task is made that bit more difficult because of this, and it's really at the centre of the game. At the very core of Bridget is its gameplay, which in my opinion is very innovative and also very simplistic, which makes it one of those easy to pick up, difficult to master games, which are popular for very good reason, as you are, well, in my opinion, going to be wanted to try again and again to get your bridge that perfect design. I suppose that I must give a mention to the great physics engine that have been implemented here. The devs of Bridget could have opted to not put in the stress tolerance part of Bridget, but they did so, and it benefits the game to no end. With the flick of a button, you can see the weak points on your bridge when cars drive across it, or even when it's idle with no cars on it. It's just incredible, both as a visual point and also as an aid for getting a perfect design. I must also admit that when I was finished, what I thought was a perfect bridge design, only to see that little tiny splash of red on the stress test view, it really motivated me to go back to the drawing board and give it another shot. Moving swiftly on, the variety of vehicles that your bridge will have to endure is another challenge to be added to an already challenging game. The cars are concentrated but moving points of stress on the bridge, whereas the train is less concentrated but much slower and also over a greater area, meaning you have to redesign your structures to support them. The boat also makes you have to implicate a drawbridge functionality, which I am even yet to comprehend or master. The timescale is useful too when it used in conjunction with the stress test view, so you can see the weak points as soon as they appear, so you don't need to waste your time watching your poor bridge fall apart. No story is present in Bridget, but it does choose to focus on the gameplay, so, well, it rightly should. And if a story was in the game, it wouldn't fit and would pretty much be distracting. But I would like to use this section of the review to just discuss the really friendly introduction that is used in the game. It just eases you into the building of bridges, instead of giving you this really big daunting task as soon as you launch up the game. Regrettably, the graphics are not to the same standards as the rest of the game. There are no graphical presets that you can differ between, which is something that, in my belief, is pretty much essential for a PC game, because you get a large amount of variation in the power of PCs. Whilst talking about the graphics, I also have to say that when I first booted up the game, I was greeted with the game's smallest graphical setting, which on my 1920 by 1080 screen looked pretty horrific. But fortunately I was able to scale this up to my normal resolution. Nonetheless, it was a pretty low start for a game that I've enjoyed quite a bit. The lack of a sound scale is somewhat of an irritation too, as the error sound to signal when you run out of money scares the absolute hell out of me every time it plays, which is really quite a poor part of the game. My overall opinion of Bridget is that I have had an absolute ton of fun with this game, which honestly I was not expecting. I guess this is a pretty good example of not judging a game by its function, because at a glance, a bridge building game really did not look like much fun at first. The building in the game is very well executed and is easy to pick up while still being difficult, if you get what I mean, which is, in my opinion, what the game excels at. I just have to recommend this game to anyone who enjoys building things without too much complexity, which you can find in like things with Minecraft or maybe Terraria. The game is also really great for whittling away a few hours whilst listening to a podcast or something. So, in conclusion, Poisonkiwi gives Bridget an 8.9 for a set of really great mechanics and well-designed control system, both of which are somewhat weighed down with some mediocre graphics and some fairly scarce audio and video options.